had a lot of comments about people that are still having wobble in their forehands, and I think that they're probably not the only ones. I think this is something that probably a lot of people struggle with. So I'm gonna give you some pointers, some things that I do that create less wobble, and there's some things that I do that does have more wobble, more so my weaknesses. But I want to show you the comparison between things that I'm doing to help my wobble and things that I do that I know is going to hurt the wobble. And so we're going to go over those today, and hopefully through this process you can eliminate the things that are hurting you and join the team of no wobble, which there's a lot of factors that go into it. We're going to talk about them. Before I throw this bad boy, be sure to subscribe. If you're returning to the channel, definitely subscribe. And my goal is to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you could help me make that happen, that'd be awesome and much appreciated. So please subscribe. We're gonna get into forehanding some discs. So the first thing we're gonna talk about is the grip I use on the specific discs I use. On any kind of fast disc, I use a power grip. When I say fast, I'm talking about anything that is not a putter or a mid-range. So like a 6-speed, fairway drivers, power drivers, distance drivers, whatever you want to call them, I use a power grip, which is my ring finger sits right on the rim, just like that, right where that flight, or that rim, the underside of that rim. Middle finger sits right where the flight plate meets the rim, right there, and then my index finger tucks right here. And that's the grip I use on anything faster than a mid-range. And it doesn't change, because for me that's very comfortable. And I think that that's a big deal, is being comfortable. And when I say comfortable, I mean it feels comfortable, yes, but it also feels comfortable coming out, and you feel like you get a clean release when you do it. So I'm gonna forehand this fast driver, and then we're gonna get into mid-ranges and putters. Those are things I need to work on, and I think it's gonna showcase more wobble or less wobble with things I'm doing. I think you're going to be interested in seeing. Oh. So I didn't really try to throw it really hard, and I also didn't really put a lot of turn on it, but I'll do it one more time for kicks and giggles. All right, here's another one, same thing, same grip. Here we go. So that almost had like no wobble in it. I mean, almost zero wobble. Came out very clean, but I'm also very comfortable with that style, and I do better with more overstable discs. Now we're gonna go to mid-ranges, and I'm gonna do a overstable mid-range and an understable mid-range, and I'm gonna show you the difference in the two. I've got a pyro, and I've got a detour. Overstable, flippy. I'm gonna throw them the exact same way, exact same grip, and then the detour is gonna have a lot more wobble. So, pyro, I switch my grip when I go to mid-ranges. I usually do a power grip, but I'm gonna switch to a stack grip. I feel like this has more control, and I think control is a big part of having a wobbleless forehand. So, if you're having a lot of wobble and you feel like you don't have much control on the disc, probably need to switch your grip to where you feel like, okay, I got a lot of control here, or I got more control here, and it feels better. So I'm gonna start with this one. Forehand it. It may have a little bit of wobble, but I've definitely got a lot better at these. I used to really be bad at them. So, forehand, mid-range, here we go. So it definitely came out with some wobble, but it wasn't a whole lot. It's a little bit, wasn't a lot. This is gonna be tough. One, because my forehand style is pretty, I wouldn't say choppy, but it's a little choppy. I kind of like to come over on my discs and hammer on them. This one I'm gonna have to release on a hyzer, and when I have understable discs and I try to release them on hyzer, I usually get them nose up. But we're gonna try this anyways. So I'm gonna try to do the exact same thing and see what happens. Are you done?
autograph, please get your autograph.
See?
That was so shitty.
That was crappy. See the difference there? We had a little interruption, but we're back. And you can see how crappy that last forehand was. I'm gonna try it again. It's a less stable disc. I went and got the Detour again, and then I also have this Hex. We'll forehand both of them. I'll keep them exactly the same. Here we go. Yep. So that disc is so understable. Like that disc is not a disc I would grab out of my bag to forehand. Here's a Hex. This is probably gonna do better. This is slightly more stable. Here we go. Nope. Still turned over. Okay. Just for kicks and giggles, I'm gonna take a Pyro, going from the stack grip back to a power grip, see how it does. So definitely has more wobble, but I got more distance. So I think grip and disc selection definitely matter when it comes to that. Also, I try to keep my elbow relatively close to my body. That keeps me from being out here and doing like a sidearm for like a baseball. I just try to keep my elbow close to my body. Now, the only disc that I can really forehand well on putters is like putt and approach discs, like a Zone. This is a Tempo. I love this disc. I think I like this disc more than a Zone, which says a lot because I bagged a Zone for last 5 years. But I got this disc and I love this disc. So I'm gonna forehand it. Same grip, stack grip. Here we go. So that almost had no wobble to it, but I really like the feel of the disc, and the disc just does well for me. So the right disc, the stability of the disc, those kind of go hand in hand. Your grip on the type of disc you're using, and then your form itself, you need to try to find a smooth, for me, I don't really do a very jerky form. I've seen some people do a form where they go up and they come back around. I mean, whatever works for you, but I personally try to keep my form simple and smooth. So I went and got those discs. As I was walking back, I was trying to think of a way to like explain it on like getting a clean release, because I think having a clean release is just as important as having the right stability of disc, and also having the right grip on the disc. And the best way I can describe my release is like on a backhand, I really don't release the disc. It kind of just comes out of my hand, it pops out of my hand. I don't really let the disc go. On a forehand, I sort of do. I push it in the direction I want it to go, and I have a little flick at the end, and I kind of push it out and release it where I want it to go. And so I think if you're not getting a clean release on the disc, could be the disc, could be your grip, could be your form. There's a lot of things that go into that, and the only thing I can tell you is to get outside and practice. And I would just say, get your bag, start throwing discs with a forehand, and practice on different grips and different discs. And the one that has the least amount of wobble and the most accurate width, whatever your form is on that disc, is probably the closest to finding out how to continue to do that throughout the rest of your bag. Back in the day, I couldn't forehand a mid-range, I couldn't forehand a putter, I couldn't forehand anything but a very fast driver. And I just started working my way, and I started practicing with those discs. So if you're like, I need to get better at X, get X, throw X, practice with it, and try to eliminate some of those things. I can show you several different grips. I mean, you have the power grip, like what I use on a fast disc. You also have a stack grip, you have a split. I think Paul Macbeth even tucks his index finger instead of having it like this, he slides it underneath like that. I've seen a lot of people use that. I mean, I wouldn't be even say, I mean, Andrew Marwee does 1 finger. Try 1 finger. Try 3 fingers. I mean, I don't know. I don't think 4 would work out very well, but if you do try 3 with your finger here, and whatever for you may work. Also, I would try to, I don't really do this action. It's not really this. It's more this action. So it's more of when I'm pushing my disc, I'm doing that, not this. That's, to me, that's gonna release it with a lot of hyzer. It's gonna dump out and probably have wobble. And then you definitely don't wanna roll your wrist over. That's a problem I do if I have a disc and I'm trying to really hammer down on it. I roll my wrist over and burn it into the ground. So hopefully with all of these little tips, you can eliminate some of that wobble. I hope this helps you. I'm interested to know if any of you have ever done anything in your forehand game that has helped you. I would love to know, because if I missed anything, I would love to share it with people out there. And so if you want to share it with me, comment down below, let me know, hey, I did this and it helped drastically, or I did this and it helps. Just feel free to comment down below and let me know what you did. And if I missed anything, you know, I'm human, it happens. But I want to thank you guys for watching. Until I see you in the next one, you know what to do. Go in peace and be blessed.